Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making this beautiful and delicious bubblegum cream cheese pound cake. If you're interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, please take a moment, look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. All right, y'all, so here are the ingredients for the bubblegum cream cheese pound cake. Up first, we have 3 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 cups of granulated sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature. We will be using about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Here we have some bubblegum flavor oil. I don't know how much of that we're gonna need in the cake. We'll try it out as we mix the batter. And then we have rose pink color that I will be using to color the cake batter. We are gonna start by adding the cream cheese and butter to the mixer, and then we're gonna turn the mixer on. Once we have the butter and cream cheese combined, we're going to slowly add the 3 cups of granulated sugar. Now we're going to stop for a minute and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl. I have sped things up for the sake of this video, but typically once I add the sugar to the butter and the cream cheese, I will let the mixer run for about 10 minutes. So here I am adding the vanilla extract to the mix. Now I'm going to go in and add the eggs one at a time. If more than one egg falls in like it did for me, that's perfectly fine. Just mix for a little longer before you add the next. So here I've turned the mixer off to scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl once again before we move on to adding our flour mixture. So here we're going to begin to gradually add our flour mixture to the bowl. We're going to add some, mix a little, add a little more until we've added all the contents. You already know what time it is. Here we're stopping the mixer again to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl. It is important to do this several times during the process just to make sure that we get everything well combined. So now I've turned the mixer off to add the bubblegum flavor oil to the batter. At this point, I had no idea how much I needed to use to get the bubblegum flavor, so I'm adding a little at a time. I will be turning the mixer off, dipping a spoon inside just so I can taste a little of the batter. It's not recommended that you eat raw eggs, so if you do this, do it at your own risk. I'm just tasting just a little to see if I needed to add any more of the bubblegum flavor to the batter. Turns out I did, so I did end up using the entire small bottle of the bubblegum flavor in the cake batter. So now I am just going in and adding some of the rose food coloring until I get the desired color that I want. Here I am scraping down the bowl again, and you can see that underneath the pink, the icing that doesn't have any color that was stuck on the sides as well as on the bottom of the bowl. So I'm just going to loosen that up, mix it in a bit, and then turn the mixer back on. First off, just to show y'all, I did go in and add a little more pink color to the batter. So you can see it's a little darker than it was last time you saw it. Here is the pan we will be using. I'm going to spray with Baker's Joy. So I do have, as you can see, a little batter left. When I use this recipe with this pan, I usually have some batter left over. I'm just gonna set that aside and I can make cupcakes with it, you know, whatever. It won't go to waste, but I'm not gonna put the whole thing in the cake pan because I don't want it to bake over. So here we're gonna shake it a bit, give it a few taps. Again, our oven has been preheated to 300 degrees, so I'm going to place this in the oven for 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, y'all, so now we are going to get started on our glaze. In this measuring cup, we have 2 cups of powdered sugar. Here I have some heavy whipping cream. I will be using some of that in the sugar to make the glaze, as well as vanilla extract and just a small drop of the bubblegum oil flavoring. Now, these are blue gumballs. I will be using these to decorate the cake, and I have this out because I want to try to get this glaze as close to this color as possible. I also have some blue disco dust that I will be using to decorate the cake as well, which is also very similar to the gumball color. So I'm going to, once I make the glaze, I'm going to use this sky blue color to try to get it as close to this color as possible. So we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to start by pouring just a little heavy cream in here with the powdered sugar. And I'm going to give it a stir. If I had to guess how much that was, I'd say about 1.5 tablespoons. You want to add it gradually so it doesn't get too loose. And as you can see, this is very clumpy still, so I definitely need more. About another tablespoon. We're getting there. We are going to need some more heavy cream though. About 1/2 tablespoon. and this is clearly still too thick. So we're gonna add some more heavy cream. Heavy cream is thicker than just a regular milk would be. So if I were using regular milk, whole milk, I wouldn't need as much. Okay, so this is definitely looking more like the consistency, but I need to mix until it's nice and smooth. All right, so I'm gonna have to be careful adding these extracts and oils. One, because the vanilla extract is brown and the bubblegum extract is pink. So I want just very little of both. Just a splash of vanilla and just a splash of the bubblegum oil. Once I add the color and I see what the consistency is, I'll likely add just a little more heavy cream because I am going to want it a little thinner than this. I don't have any toothpicks, so I'm just going to grab this fork and I'm just going to put just that much of the color in there. It doesn't take much at all. See already. I am going to need a little more, but we're going to add just a little at a time. You can see it's off a bit. So we're just going to put the fork back in here with a little more color. I didn't have to put the fork back in the color. There's still plenty left on the fork, so. Still need more. Still need more. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that color. Oh, I think we are. It's looking more blue now and less of a green color. Wow, that's pretty close. So I think once we drizzle this on the cake and then we use our tool, which I'll show you later, we're going to put the disco dust inside here and spray it onto the cake. So now I'm just adding a little more heavy cream to thin this out a bit. All right, so we are going to sit this aside like this. It will thicken up some as it sits, so I'm 99.9% sure I'm going to end up adding some more heavy cream before we put it on the cake. But for now, we're just going to sit this aside. All right, y'all, so now we are going to make our cream cheese icing. In this bowl, I have 1/2 stick of unsalted butter. It was really, really soft. An 8-ounce package of really soft cream cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix these together right quick. Once I have it mixed in a bit, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a couple drops of the bubblegum flavor. Once we get that mixed in, we're gonna add 16 ounces of powdered sugar. I will have the ingredients for this listed down below in the description box, so don't worry about that. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna mute it now because my mixer is really loud. So now that the icing is done and it is the color I want it to be, I'm going to add it to a piping bag and set it aside until I'm ready to use it. Here is our pound cake right out of the oven after 1 hour and 30 minutes. We are going to let this sit in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes and then we will flip it out onto the cake board. So we are about to flip the cake over. Perfect. It smells so good. So we are just going to leave this out for 45 minutes to an hour to cool, and then we will come back to decorate. So here we're going to go in and pour our glaze all over the pound cake.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality, cause
So here you can see that I have placed the disco dust inside the little device that I actually purchased from my local cake supply store. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to pump the disco dust all over the cake. I keep wanting to say disco dust all over the cake. And basically disco dust is just a food grade. It looks like glitter really.
you like, you don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy. You can do whatever.
Here I'm going in and I am adding a second layer of glaze to the cake. It won't cover the cake completely, but after I do this, I am going to go in and add a little more disco dust on top.
While you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it. You gotta go get it for yourself. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure.
So here I've come in for a closer shot just to try to get you guys to see the sparkles of the disco dust in the cake. You can really see it in this middle section. But yeah, it just adds a pretty little glittery, shimmery effect to the cake. So now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to pipe little circles on top of the cake. And basically I'm just doing this so I'll have something to sit the bubblegum pieces on top of. Now I'm going to go in and add a gumball on top of every area that I piped the icing. So here I'm going through and pumping some of the disco dust on the pink icing that I just piped on the cake. So I was going to stop there, but I decided to go ahead and do some piping at the base of the cake and add some more gumballs down there as well. So that's what you'll see me doing here. Here I'm just going through and pumping some of the disco dust at the base of the cake as well. We have made it to the end of this video. Here we have our finished product, our bubblegum cream cheese pound cake. Guys, it's crazy how much this cake smells and tastes like bubblegum. I think it would be a good cake to have maybe for a kid's birthday party, some sort of baby shower, maybe even a way to do it so that it could be used for a gender reveal. I love the pink and blue together. If you guys have any questions about anything I've done in this video, leave them down below in the comment section and I will be sure to reply. If you don't want to miss out on any future videos, don't forget to look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, come back for some more recipes. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.
Good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration, and if I make a mistake, it's called